Hey everybody, Kenny.
Sabrina.
We had a question from Frankie, and Frankie would like to know, would we ever consider van life? Well, it was a two-part question. And how long do we plan on living this lifestyle, the RV full-time lifestyle? So, Belle likes her new little
She's
squirrel
bored
back
with
there.
it.
Yeah.
Bored with us.
Yeah, we don't think she's feeling well today. So to kind of start things off, we'll take the first half. Would we ever consider van life? And we actually did consider van life for a long time when we were shopping around for RVing and doing a lot of research. We did think about land. We did think about van life and considered doing van life. More Sabrina than me. She was more on board with it than I was. You want to talk a little bit about
Yeah,
it?
so I like the idea of a van and being able to park anywhere and not having to look for particular spaces and the mobility of it. So I like that idea of it. I like not having so much stuff, which we have the space now and we have accumulated even more stuff than we left with. So I like the idea of that too, being able to downsize even more than we are. But there's some aspects of it that just really I don't think would work for us.
Yeah. And I guess maybe I'll throw a little disclaimer out there. We do enjoy the van life community and what they're able to do, and we're always amazed by what they're able to do. But we'll start with one would be a like a level of excitement. So when we were thinking about RV life, and we would be shopping for say the RVs and planning how we would travel and what we would do, I would always be really excited when we were looking through the different Class A's and the Class C's, and then Sabrina, it would always be Sabrina. Sabrina would say, "Well, what about this van?" And I just didn't have that same level of excitement. I would look at the van and I say, "Yeah, I think we could make this work." And I never felt that way with the Class A. I never felt that way about our Vista. I never looked at the Vista and said, "I think we can make it work." I just knew it would. I just felt this would work. This was perfect. This is going to hit everything that we need. And the van life for me, when I would look at the vans, I'd be like, yeah. And I didn't like the fact that I was thinking of it in a way that I could make it work.
Yeah, and I think for me, even when we're at the RV shows and we go look at vans, I'm like, "Oh, Kenny, let's go take a look at this one." And he'll go inside and he'll look, and then I'll go inside and I need him to move out of my way. And I'm like standing there like, "Seriously, just move." And the scooting past each other and shuffling past each other just it annoys me at the RV show, so I don't think I could do that long term.
Yeah, and not that it's a great excuse, but we're both pretty big people. I'm 230
We're
pounds.
both pretty big people. Here we go again.
Sabrina is tall, and you got your wingspan.
Oh, you're gonna get in trouble again.
I always get
You
in
always
trouble.
do. You can't edit it out when it's live.
I know. I always get in trouble. A second reason was when comparing the two, there was a level of comfort that we felt in the floor plan that we chose compared to the vans as well. We wanted a full size kitchen and a full size convection oven. We wanted a bedroom with a solid closing door. We wanted a full size bathroom.
Yeah, I do not like wet baths. Something about having a toilet in the same vicinity as a shower where my legs might bump into a toilet, just, it's not for me. It's not for me.
It's not for me either. That being said, though, there are some vans out there that do have full baths in them now. They're pretty big vans, but they do.
Yeah, they're
they
like
do
24 feet or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, it's a big van, but it still has that same width footprint, so it can probably still park, I would imagine, in the same spot.
Yeah.
I think as a like a regular parking space, you could probably park it at a Walmart or something. So there was a level of comfort that we felt when we were touring the Class A's, Class C's, and the Super C's, and travel trailers, and fifth wheels, and all that. But then again, we would walk into vans, and we would be like, "Wow, this is so." The vans, I always feel like they're like a step ahead as far as like the comfort creatures, as far as the cabinets
Creature
and
comforts?
creature comforts too, but the cabinets and the
I
technology.
hope there's no creatures.
There's tons of creatures in there. So I always feel like they're on the cutting edge of the technology all the time. maybe that's because they're closer to a car vehicle, and the vehicles like that are always like more cutting edge.
Maybe because
than
you said that
RVs.
our chassis hasn't changed in like 20 years.
It's been 20 years. So Ford's been using this same chassis for 20 years. That's about to change soon, though.
Yeah, so that's the answer to the van life question.
No, I had another.
Something, oh, you were telling them to if they were interested in.
Well, if you're
van life.
interested in van life, though, definitely check out We're the Russos, Joe and Kate. All of their videos are just about all their videos is based around the van life. Oh, I know
The
what
weather.
It was. The weather was the other one. When I thought of the Russos, I thought of the other thing. So Sabrina and I are not these crazy outdoor enthusiast type of people.
Crazy?
We're crazy, but we're not outdoorsy, I guess. I mean, we'll sit out on patio and grill, and we might go for a hike. But also because of Sabrina's work, we're not usually in the most desirable locations as far as weather. This is actually strange that we're in weather that we can go outside and enjoy the weather. But usually in the wintertime, we're in like the northeast area of the country where it's like 15 degrees. And you don't want to really be outside all that much. In the summertime, you put us into like Virginia where it's like 105 degrees and hot and humid. So again, in the summertime, we don't want to. It's very rare. Again, I'm blaming you.
I see that.
That we're in climates that you would want to be like outdoors and doing all that exciting hiking and bike. Well, biking we do, but it's just not. We spend, unfortunately, more time inside than outside, I feel like. And that was another reason why it was very important that, we have everything set up. And our TV, too, that was a big deal because we don't go to the movie theater. We like watching movies at home. And when we had our condo and apartment, we had a decent-sized screen TV, 45-inch. We actually have a 48-inch TV in here. And then we had a sound bar, and we had like our own little theater. And that was important for us, too, to have these seats facing the TV. We have surround sound up above us here in the RV that works through the radio, giving us that home theater feel. What's this?
Feel is a good word. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll give you that.
You love the sound.
I
in
do
here.
love the surround sound in here, but I wouldn't say it's comparable to a home theater. I don't know. That seems a little much. I mean, it's nice.
We're in an RV. How
I
much
know,
are you
I know.
expecting?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure it's really a comparison. It is nice to have the surround sound. But when I think of home theaters, I think of them as being like super. Like theater seating, like stadium type seat, like super.
Oh, you want like extra seat. You want to like invite the neighborhood or the campground over.
Maybe.
So I think they were our main reasons for when we would consider van life, how if we could be able to do it or not. And even today, when we love going to RV shows. It's one of our favorite things. It's like walking through all the new RVs. And I always say, whatever the last RV is that Sabrina walks out of is the one that she likes. So when she goes and looks at these RVs and the vans, she's always like, you always get excited when you see the new vans.
I do.
And you always want to check them out.
I do.
And I'm always like, I'm pass. But you always say if you would ever do this on your own, it would be a van.
Right, I think so because I think it would be more manageable for me, and I don't like driving this at all. It just stresses me out. So.
I mean, vans definitely have a lot of advantages. Easier on maintenance, easier to care for in general. Park anywhere, go anywhere. Go through a drive-through through your Starbucks or your, McDonald's and stuff like that. You're able to not only just park anywhere like overnight, but you're able to get into. You're never going to be turned away for your size at a state park or even a campground or anything like that. You can be very stealthy. A lot of times people can park and not even know that you're actually in there, like living in the van in some cases. So definitely tons of advantages. And again, if you want to learn more or see more about that lifestyle, we recommend the Russos. They're really cool people, and they have a great YouTube channel. I'll put a link somewhere. Do we have any questions about van life before I move on to how long do we plan to RV full-time for?
I think we answered them about whether we'd be claustrophobic, and then also, do we ever miss being in a stick and motor? Do we miss being in a house or apartment?
All right, so That'll probably go along
Mortar
with.
got me there.
That'll go along with
The next question.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll roll right into how long do we plan on doing this, and I can either start or you can start. I like starting. So it's a great question for us, but unfortunately we don't have a great answer because it's something that we rarely ever think about. I don't even know if we ever have discussions about getting out of the RV and what would that look like.
I think Kenny would like stone me if I said I was ready to get out of the RV.
I
know.
Yeah, I really love being in the RV. I don't, to answer the person's question, I don't miss being in a sticks and bricks or a regular home-like setting. There's nothing about it that I miss. I've owned a condo in my life. I've owned a house in my lifetime. I've rented an apartment in my lifetime, and I don't miss any of them. I love being in the RV, and I wish I could give you this is the reason why, and I don't. I really enjoy. I was talking with our neighbors here at this campground, and then they leave and new neighbors come. I love meeting new people and talking with other people, so that's a big deal for me. I love that we move around and see different areas. I love driving. I should have been a truck driver because I just love getting on the road and driving, especially in our Class A where we have a good view of the road, and with the windshield being so large, we got nice scenery. When we're driving through New Mexico is stunning all the time, every time. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why I like the RV, I guess. I mean, you do too, but not like I do.
Correct. I would agree with that. So we really don't talk about how long because I kind of just tell people people at work ask me all the time, like, are you doing this to find some place you want to live? And not particularly. It's just a matter of we're doing this because we enjoy it, and when it's not fun anymore, we'll stop.
And it also works for your type of work.
Yeah.
Because we travel to go to your different hospitals and workstations. So for that part of it, it was the best way we could travel for work for you was with the RV.
Yeah, especially with Belle.
And with Belle, having Belle RVing, if you're going to have a dog with you, every campground is pet friendly. Belle, we got lucky, I guess. She travels very well. Actually, we're going to do a whole video on traveling with Belle, but it's just easy.
It's so difficult. Like, it's so complicated for a hotel.
Yeah, we've done hotels with Belle, and it's well, one, they charge you
$100, $150, $75. It just depends on the place.
And then Belle has anxiety. She gets upset real easy with noises. So, people being stacked all on top of each other at a hotel, they don't usually have the greatest of insulation. She barks, and nobody's ever complained about her, but she gets on our nerves.
Yeah, we can't leave her ever. Like, you can't even leave her to go get breakfast. So
it's embarrassing, too.
It's kind of painful when she's at a hotel. We're in the hotel room, and we always have to have the microwave fan on high. Like, it's
to drown out other noises so that she doesn't hear it.
It's a lot.
I mean, she's really good. She's well behaved, really listens, but she's a barker. She's got a voice on her. She went through, what was it, a year and a half of obedience school, and she still barks a lot.
Yeah, it's a bit much. So.
Yeah, so we don't really have a great answer of when. We don't have any date in mind. In fact, if anything, it's the other way around. We think like when we want to slow down and maybe start to settle in an area, we're thinking about purchasing some land and building a casita where the RV would be parked on the property, and then the casita would just be like an outdoor bar, a laundry room. Yeah, bar is very important to me, apparently, because it's the first thing. But like an outdoor bar with an outdoor seating area, maybe screened in, a fenced area for Belle, laundry. An extra bath would be nice because we've always had a second bath in our apartment.
That was nice.
Both apartments we had second baths,
nice.
So we would probably build a bathroom at the casita, and then the RV would be attached. You just park it right next to it in a port, and we would actually still live in the RV, have this little extra space for the laundry and stuff like that. And then when we would do trips, we just pack up the RV and drive away, and then come back. So even in the future, we're planning. Even if we would ever become stationary again, it would be like that little casita idea. I got little notes here, but I think
that's it.
I think that's
blank.
I think that's actually it. Yeah. If we had any questions, we can take some questions or just chat a little bit.
Let's see. Would you get a bigger Class A? Yes. I would. He would not.
So, I say this all the time. I don't think Sabrina and I could have picked a better RV for the two of us. The way we travel, we move a lot. We've done over 70,000 miles in 2.5 years. I don't think, because of the size, it's so maneuverable. It's easy for me to get in and out of gas stations. She doesn't drive, so she doesn't care so much. But she would like a sofa. So we go back and forth on this all the time. Like, how large do you go where it's not easy to drive anymore and maneuverable? We borrowed Winnebago. We do a lot of work with Winnebago, for anybody that doesn't know. Winnebago gave us a 36Z for 2 weeks to try out one time. And we loved it. I mean, the thing's 38 feet long, sweet. But we didn't drive it around too much. We drove it a little bit around Florida, maybe 50, 70 miles or something like that. Not a whole lot. And then parked it at a campground for 2 weeks. So it was awesome. It had a washer dryer. I mean, everything you would want in it. Washer dryer. We had 2 bathrooms in it, a fireplace, and a big 50-inch TV, a 30-inch TV in the bedroom, a TV outside. I mean, it was great. It was so comfortable. It felt like we were back in a condo again. It really felt like a home. Not to say that this doesn't. I feel like I'm at home. I'm excited when I come back to the RV. I'm like, oh, it's nice to come back and relax and sit in my chair. And
I always feel like this is more like a dorm room than a that RV felt more like a condo, and this one feels more like a college dorm.
Yeah,
that's what I always kind of related to. But.
Yeah, I agree. It felt, the 36Z felt like a condo. You're right, and then this feels more like, it's a little nicer than a dorm. It's a little nicer than a dorm room, though. So we go back and forth on the size of the RV. I really like being under 30 feet because we're able to get in every campground. It's easy to get into the spots, whether that be a pull through or a back in site. And it maneuvers very well through the gas stations, getting in and out of gas stations, getting in and out of the Walmarts. All that. Yeah, it's very easy to travel with that way. And I'm comfortable when we set up and the slides are out too.
I agree.
And we have a great amount of storage for being so small. I think if we were in a smaller RV that was lacking in storage maybe, then we would want to also go a little larger for, I don't know, I have no idea what junk we buy, but
oh my gosh, the place we're at now, it looks like we're getting like Christmas presents every day. I'm like, these people are probably like, we keep going over there to pick up the packages so that they don't have to walk them over because it's a little out of hand right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we got a bad habit. It's a good thing we live in an RV because it limits us to how many things we can actually buy.
There's only so much Amazon.
Apparently, we really like stuff. Any other questions?
Would you pick a Super C? Too expensive.
Yeah, if we could find a Super C at the right price, then yes. Super Cs, we don't know a whole lot about Super Cs, but every time I hear about them, they sound amazing. They supposedly have the best ride out there. I've never heard anything bad about Super Cs. Apparently are really the way to go, like if you can afford it. But they're pretty pricey, and Sabrina and I are pretty cheap. So
frugal, not cheap.
I'm sorry, we're pretty frugal.
Yes.
But yeah, I hear great things about Super Cs. I've never driven one, but one day we should test drive one.
Who's gonna let us touch it?
I was gonna say, I don't know if anybody would let us, but maybe somebody would let us test drive one. So we like RV shows because there's very little pressure, but when you go to dealers, man, they jump like all over you. We can't stand being pressured to trade or sell or anything. We just want to look. We're just here to look. We just want to see what's new.
We did not bring a checkbook.
So. Yeah. I try to dress in the worst clothes possible, which is just my everyday. I mean, I always do, but we try to look as poor as possible when we walk in.
Maybe I do, and maybe that's why that salesman said that to me one day. I don't know. Husband? Yeah, when he asked me, he's like, "So what does your husband do for a living?" I'm like, anyhow. Yeah, so that's the joy of RV shows.
We go in dressed as poor as we can. Looking as shabby as possible.
Are we going to be at the Tampa RV show? We will not because we're actually on the West Coast.
We're on the West Coast right now. We have a lot of friends going to the Tampa RV show, and We miss it every year, but we hear it's a great show.
We're always on the wrong side
We're
of the country.
always on the we're never near it when it happens, but we hear it's a great show.
And I think that's all for now.
That's it. All right, everybody.
All right, guys.
Take
Thanks
care.
for joining us.
Safe travels. And tomorrow we are going to talk about, I think we're going to talk about our must-haves, or what can we power on our solar battery setup. One of those two. I'm not sure which one. All right. Take care, everybody.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.